Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I have a very exciting handbag unboxing. So I'm gonna unbox it with you all. I'm gonna talk through it. I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I got it because this is something that has been very hard to get. It's been on my wish list for over 6 months now. I've been watching it adamantly, so I'm super excited to finally see it for the first time. And I normally don't do like real-time unboxings, but I thought it would be fun for you guys to see my initial reaction because this has just been such a long time coming. So let's get right into it. Opening the box. Ooh. There's nothing more satisfying than. So this gives you a little bit of a hint about who it's from. Hopefully you can see that. It says The Row in a beautiful generic white envelope. Oh, beautiful little card that says thank you on it. And then, yeah, the invoice. I won't show you this yet because I want to. Oh my God, I love it already. I can already tell. Oh, okay, so amazing. Before I unwrap this, which has the beautiful Row sticker, first of all, if you know what this is and you knew what it was before I started, let me know in the comments below. I want to just tell a very quick little, actually, you know what? I'll show you the dust bag. Oh my God. It's going to be the perfect size. I'm so excited, you guys. Okay, so let me just tell you a quick story time before I get into the actual unboxing of the bag. I'm going to be evil, but if I had to wait, you can wait a little bit as well. So like I said, I have been keeping tabs on this bag. I first saw it on this Instagram account that I really love called Olivia's Shopping Diary, I think. I will leave her Instagram linked below because I think she has such great style and just has a really inspiring page. And her style, I think, is similar to mine. So if you like my style, you'll definitely like her style. But she had this bag that I was like, I love that bag. I love the size of it. I love the simplicity of it. And then, you know, when you see or you think, it's like the red car theory or something, when you think about like a red car, you start seeing red cars everywhere. Well, I started seeing this bag all around New York on various people. Not like all the time, but like every now and then I would get a little peek of it because it looks just like a Birkin, almost more like a Birkin 25 that's turned around. Apologies if I'm sniffling, I have a little bit of a cold, but it looks like a Birkin in the sense that it's got the same stitching and it just looks the exact same, but like turned around so that you can't see the front kind of Birkin hardware. And so I kept seeing it on people and I'm like, man, I really like this bag. So here's a hot tip in general. If you see something out and about, or if you just see something on the internet and you're not sure who makes it or what it is, this doesn't work for everything, obviously, but I take a screenshot, crop in on what the item is, and then I upload it into Google Lens. So if you go to Chrome and you just click into search, there's like a little photo picture. I'll insert something on the side here to show you. And then it'll just give you all these different results for what it is. So that's how I ended up finding out what this bag is, which I will tell you in a second. And so from then I saw it on Essence, which is one of my favorite places in addition to Net-a-Porter and Farfetch to shop for luxury items. And it was on Essence for a couple of months and I was waiting because it is, you know, it's from The Row. Obviously it's a much higher price point. And so I really wanted to make sure that this was something that I wanted. I wanted to make sure that I had the money for it. And I'd been spending a lot of money on my wedding and other things. And so I kept waiting. And then it sold out on Essence. Can't get it anymore on Essence. It's gone. So then I saw it on the Row website. Also gone. Completely sold out. You could get it in a different color. You could get it in like a marine blue color, which is also kind of a hint. And so then I did my next thing, which is also another hot tip. If you really have your heart set on something, you can take in Safari go to the web page of that item, and then you can add it to your home screen so that it almost looks like it's an app. I know this sounds insane, but this is how I got it. So early bird gets the worm, perseverance gets the prize. This all worked. So I took the product page for this bag on the row in the color that I wanted, saved it as like a little app on my home screen, and every single day, anytime I had a spare moment, I would just click on it and I would just check it. And it would always be out of stock for months and months and months until a couple of weeks ago. This is also embarrassing, but whatever. I was taking a shower and I was in the shower, and I don't know about you guys, but the iPhone's waterproof. Like when I'm doing my hair routine and I have, a deep conditioner in or something like that, you have to let it sit in for like 5 or 6 minutes. We are the ADHD technology generation. I'm on the phone and I'm like, oh, let me just check. Boom, check. It's in stock. It is in stock. So I did wait until I finished my shower. I didn't like jump out of the shower with my conditioner still in my hair. I wasn't that crazy. And because I do like purchasing things on my desktop better, it's just easier, especially when it comes to a really large purchase like this. And so I went on my computer, sure enough, still in stock 5 minutes later, thank God. It was the only one. I don't know if someone returned it or just one became available somewhere, but I bought it. So I'm sorry, as of now, hopefully at some point they will restock. It is still sold out, but I got one and I'm just so over the moon. So I purchased it. I will get in quickly to shipping and all of that. An interesting thing that I noticed is that they didn't charge me tax for this bag. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm just going to have to pay customs because the bag was coming from Italy, from Florence specifically. And so I was like, maybe they'll just like DHL will just charge me, which happens sometimes when a bag is or an item is over a certain value. But they didn't also charge me then. So either that was just all a huge mistake, or what I'm really hoping is that the row does like what IKEA does, where they just build tax into the price of the item. And so the price that you see on the website is actually just the price that it is. Let me know if that's been your experience with shopping from the row in the past. I usually purchase things of the row like through another third party like Net-a-Porter or like Essence. So I've never actually purchased anything on their website before. So I just thought that was interesting. I love it. I think it's clear. There's nothing worse than when you're buying something and you're like, 4,300 or whatever, how much it costs in your mind. And then you get to checkout and you're like, oh, it's like another X amount because it's an expensive item. So tax is going to be a lot, especially depending on if you live in a high tax area like New York City, like I do. So I was just like, okay. And then I did want to call out the shipping process because it was supposed to be shipped to me, I think in like 3 to 5 days, like relatively fast. And as I mentioned, it was coming from Florence. So I don't know about you guys either, but I've actually been having this problem with DHL a couple of times with all different types of deliveries, whether it's like a $40 pair of shoes or, a very expensive handbag. So this has happened to me for both high and low items, but basically DHL will hold the item at customs and then I have to give them all this information, which I just think is ridiculous, like my social security number and like all this stuff that's very sensitive. So I had to do that again with this one, and I actually made a mistake where I thought I had filled out everything they needed, and then I forgot to submit one form, so then it was another like 4 days. So long story short, it ended up sitting in customs for like a week. With DHL, it also fell over the holiday period, Martin Luther King Day and whatnot, so I'm sure there was a bit of a delay because of that. I will say the row, they sent a nice email that was like, hey, this bag's coming from Florence, like you're gonna need to give information to DHL. The email wasn't like that helpful, frankly, and it was also just kind of like, hey, like this is a problem, you need to like figure it out on your own, essentially, which for a really luxury brand like the Row, I think you would expect a little bit better. They also run their website on Shopify, which I think is kind of funny. I mean, I know a lot of people use Shopify, but again, for just such a premium luxury brand, I just thought it was like kind of funny to see a little bit of cracks in certain systems of theirs. That's just a me thing. However, I know they just got a ton of funding, so I'm sure they're looking to like upgrade and kind of switch a lot of the stuff about their processes, and maybe that funding we'll go towards that. But in general, I mean, I didn't have a bad experience. I just want to be super honest about the whole process from start to finish. So finally, DHL released my bag. I was good to go. I didn't have to pay customs or anything, which was great. And then it arrived yesterday and I put it away in my closet and I've been holding on to it so I can unbox it with you all. So let's do this moment of truth. Oh my gosh. Let me do it up in the camera. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It is perfect. Ah. Oh my gosh. It is the perfect size. Look at the dust bag. So you can see gorgeous, minimal. You see what I'm saying though, where it looks like a Birkin? Oh, I will leave the dimensions for it, but how gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna take the dust bag off so you can really see it and really, we can talk about it. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed with this bag. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. So it actually has the row on the bottom instead of up on the top. Oh my God, it's so stunning. It looks like a Birkin 25 when I'm first looking at it. It is so tiny, but not too tiny. It's like the perfect tote bag. It's just like a Birkin in the shape of the handles and the beautiful stitching. It's also nice and thin. So if you saw my reel where I talked about how obsessed with this bag I was, which I'll talk about what the bag is called, how much it costs, all of that in a moment. But if you saw my reel where I said, this is truly the new Birkin, in pop culture, I mean, everyone loves a catchy title and everyone loves like something controversial. So I feel like that's the reason why this whole new Birkin thing has come about. And people love, you know, pitting certain brands against other brands. Like that's fine. That's human nature. But it always bothered me because there's so many things about the Margot bag that I just don't think it's the new Birkin. I don't even think it's that similar to the Birkin other than the fact that it's like a larger like top handle bag. This, however, is heavily inspired by a Birkin 25, but it's still, someone else said in the comments, they were like, the row bags don't need to be compared. They stand on their own. 100%. Two things can be true at the same time. This can be similar to a Birkin in multiple aspects, whether that be the size and the shape, the top handles, the stitching, but it's totally different in many ways. It doesn't have feet, it doesn't have the hardware, and those are all the reasons that I absolutely love this bag. I do not own a Birkin. I own 2 Hermes Kellys, and I love my Kellys, but this is so simple and sleek. It reminds me a lot more of my flattered leather handbags where there's no hardware, like the gold, even the row bit is so tiny that it can go with every single thing I'm wearing. I just think it's so gorgeous. I love this leather. It's almost kind of similar to like a box leather in that there's a little bit more of a grain to it. I don't know if you can kind of see that up close, but I just think it's gonna like, they do have it in a pebblier version, but I just think it's gonna wear so beautifully over time. Even if it gets like a little bit scratched, I just think the patina is gonna become so gorgeous on this. And I just love this bag. I think it's so beautiful. So yeah, let's get into specifics. I also want to see the inside. Oh my gosh, this is so, fascinating. So there's kind of like a little tie at the top. That's cool. So you can kind of tie it together to close it, even though I won't probably, if you can see that. There's like 2 leather bits and you can tie them if you want to keep it shut a little bit more. Otherwise, it's just open, which is honestly how I'm probably going to wear it. Like most bags, it's got a very typical interior. It's leather inside as well, which is gorgeous. It's got a little card holder. It's got a little zipper where you can put, you know, your wallet and anything that you might want to keep more secure. It comes with this little card receipt thing that probably tells you how to take care of it. Also tells like the name of the bag and everything. So yeah, this is actually a good time to get into the specifics of what this actual bag is. So the materials of this bag, it says that the body of it is 100% calfskin leather. The lining is 100% lambskin leather. It is made in Italy. Like I said, it came from Florence, which is where many luxury leather goods and bags are, which is gorgeous. The Row is a American based brand started by the Olsen twins, if you're not familiar. And yes, this bag is called the Small East-West Deluxe Saddle Leather. They're calling it saddle leather, and it's in the color black. So like I mentioned earlier, it does come in like a navy, which is quite beautiful. It's a very, very dark navy. It's called marine. So if you have too many black bags, but you think you might like this in blue, it also comes in blue. I've also seen similar versions that are a little bit less expensive. So I actually don't know if it's quite the same bag, but it's very similar, but it's got more of a pebbly, almost like Togo leather-esque, if you do want to compare it to like an Hermes leather. And it comes in black as well as like a tan color. I think this in tan would also be absolutely stunning. So they do make this bag in other colors, but I wanted this very much in the black because I know myself and I know that that will just go with everything in my wardrobe so very well. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have feet on the bottom, and I'm sure it will. Olivia's looked like it kind of stretched and moved a little bit over time, but it's definitely more structured than the Margot bag. And the thing that I love about it is that it's quite thin. I don't like how the Margot bag is so thick. That's why I never was interested in purchasing it, because it's just so fat on the bottom and it's not structured enough for me. It's really boho-esque, which if you like that look, great. That doesn't really fit with my wardrobe that well. So it just wasn't a good fit for me, but I think this bag is just absolute perfection and I'm so happy and excited to have it. It comes in this little dust bag as well, which is very synonymous. The Row, all their stuff comes in here and it just has like a little row at the bottom. So price-wise, this bag is $4,300, which, to be honest, when you compare it to like a Birkin 25 or something like that, I mean, if you tried to buy a Birkin 25 secondhand, it's like $25,000, $30,000. If you purchased it firsthand, I think it's what, 8 to 10 maybe. So it's actually still quite less, even though it is definitely a higher price point bag, but compared to similar brands like Dior and Saint Laurent, I actually think this is a very decently priced luxury item, and it's so, so, so gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. And as I asked in my reel too, I'd be so curious if any of you all have seen this bag, if you were familiar with this bag. When I was researching it and looking just for more information about it online, I couldn't find any videos about this bag, like this particular bag. They've made other bags, like East-West bags that are skinnier and longer and just different looking than this one. But this particular bag with these exact gorgeous dimensions, which are so similar to the little Birkin 25, I just hadn't seen anything about this. So I was so curious. I don't want to jinx it, but I do feel like when people start realizing that this bag is out there, it will become so popular just because it's dainty and ladylike and small, but still like fits a decent amount of stuff. Like I know just looking at this, I'll be able to fit pretty much everything I would put in my small burgundy Hedda bag. So like my keys, my camera, I could probably even fit like a small pair of ballet flats in here, scrunched up a little bit. So I know I'm absolutely gonna adore this bag. Ugh. So keep an eye out. Maybe I'll sneak this into a few videos actually before I publish this, where I'll style it with some pieces, but I adore this bag. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'm just so excited to finally be able to get my hands on this and share it with you all. First bag of 2025. Such a success.